This is your reality check.
Hi everyone, and welcome to The Reality Check, the Canadian show that explores a wide range of controversies and curiosities using science and critical thinking. I'm your host, Darren McKee, and with me, as usual, is Adam Gardner.
What's up, cuboids?
But not as usual, returning co-host, Christina Roach.
Hey!
And for this episode, producer Pat.
Oh my God, so nice to talk to y'all.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, we have a great show for you listeners. Pat is going to give us another delightful game of Name That, Spot the Fake.
Awesome.
But first, Christina, diabetes and DKA. What are we talking about, and what do those letters mean?
Okay, buckle up, kids. So I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in May 2023. I'll get into that in a bit, but I kind of struggled with how I would kick off this segment since it is so personal, but I realized how better to begin a segment on TRC than bust in a few good old-fashioned myths.
Excellent.
So, as the Mandalorian says, this is the way. That was for you, Adam. Okay, here we go. Myth: eating too much sugar causes diabetes. This is one of the most common misconceptions. In fact, Darren, I remember you joking about it. I just remember you joking about it on the show one time. It really, truly is a very common misconception. But eating sugar alone doesn't cause diabetes. Type 2 develops from a mix of genetics, lifestyle, and age. And type 1 isn't related to diet at all. It's autoimmune.
So, funny story.
Yeah.
I propagated that myth on the show.
Yes,
Was it you? Was it Darren?
And then I did a follow-up segment to correct my saying it wrong. But then well, first I responded to the correction in like kind of a hostile way, like, yeah, but sugar makes you fat and fats or whatever. And then afterwards I was like, no, I was out of line. Like, no, I was wrong. I propagated. I was mistaken. And here's that. That's how I remember it. Maybe you go back and listen to the show and be like, no, Adam was less charitable. But,
Good for you. But that said, I'm going to actually back you up a little bit.
Nope.
Sugary drinks and junk food can contribute to weight gain, which can increase your risk for type 2. So moderation still matters, right?
Mm-hmm. But I think the specifics was the type of calories doesn't matter. Like the sugar itself isn't the problem.
Right.
It's just,
No,
it's just
it's
calories
not.
to
It's
weight
not.
gain as a contributing factor.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you hear people joke about that all the time, right? So it's kind of in
Yes.
our orbit, you know?
They do. I mean, it's also fun to do the Wilford Brimley voice.
It's because diabetes relates to sugar processing that I think there's a bit of confusion there, even though that's unrelated.
Right. Good point. Okay, myth. If you have diabetes, you can't ever eat sugar. I mean, that's not true. Instead of cutting out sweets completely, it's about portion control and balance. Let us eat cake, I say. Please.
Small pieces of cake.
Please let me eat cake. And while I'm on it, the notion that only sugar affects diabetes is a myth. All digestible carbohydrates are broken down into glucose in your body, which then raises blood sugar levels. So white bread is not your friend. Or I should say, it's not my friend.
Is it maybe different because one is processed faster than the other or something like that?
To be honest with you, I don't know exactly. That's a really great question. But I used to think it was just a sugar thing.
Yeah.
But no, white bread, white rice, chips, and also super fatty things. But anyways. Okay, next myth. Only overweight people get diabetes. Super false. Being overweight can raise your risk, but people of all shapes and sizes develop diabetes. I'm a case in point. I'm 5'6". I weigh about 61 kilograms or 134 pounds. Genetics, age, and ethnicity all play a role, and many people who are overweight never get diabetes. So,
Yeah.
Debunked.
So family history is a big one for people.
It can be, yeah.
I also people are at risk, yeah.
I also read that, when James was born, he was 9 pounds, 14 ounces. I read that having a child over 9 pounds increases your risk of developing type 2 diabetes, which is interesting.
Increases the parents' the mother's
Yeah,
risk?
yeah.
Wow.
I wonder if there's a confounding variable there, though, in terms of like, I don't know, maybe typically larger people have larger children, and maybe that's the reason. Because just the size of the child, like what they're taking away your diabetes protection when they leave.
Well, I mean, to your point, I mean, that's just a statement, right? Like you need to dig into it.
Yeah.
Okay, next. No one in my family has diabetes, so I don't need to worry. Nope. Family history is one risk factor, but it's not the only one. Doctors kept asking me, do you have this in your family? And I don't know that my parents did. I was sure they didn't because they had blood tests and there was nothing flagged, but I just don't know for sure. Next myth. Skipping meals helps control blood sugar. This can actually do more harm than good. I'm not talking about intermittent fasting, but skipping meals can result in dangerous blood sugar fluctuations. So if you have diabetes and your blood sugar drops too low, it's called hypoglycemia. And your body and brain can't function properly, and that leads to confusion and seizures and loss of consciousness and in rare cases, death. So it can also lead to overeating later, which is also not good. So regular balanced meals can help stabilize blood sugar. So if you're diabetic and you're trying to lose weight, you really need to get guidance from your healthcare provider and not TikTok.
No kidding.
So I know this is definitely a thing for type 1 diabetes where you kind of hear about people crashing and is that, and a Steel Magnolia scene and comes to mind with the orange juice, is that true for type 2 as well? So you're basically just trying to consistently sort of like baseline your carbs throughout the day?
I'm bearing the lead, but I went on insulin after I got after an incident, which I'll get into, and was suspected to be type 2. But I carry rocket candy around me everywhere because if my blood sugar drops below 3.5, and I'll get into this because there's a difference between, of course, the US, they have to have different measurements than us.
Of course.
But
They use a logarithmic scale.
But I literally carry candy around. So if I'm working out and my blood sugar is going too low and I'm feeling a little woo, I pop the candy so that I can instantly up my sugar. So anyways, I'll get into this though.
So you don't have to monitor it. You feel that.
We'll get into that. I monitor it because you don't always know.
Okay.
But anyways, okay. Once your blood sugar is stable, you can stop taking medication. This is definitely false. Diabetes requires long-term management. Some people with type 2 may eventually reach normal blood sugar levels through diet or exercise or weight loss, and that can make you think that you're quote-unquote cured and you can stop meds, but you should never stop taking medication without your doctor's okay. Myth: you can't live a normal life with diabetes. Not true. People with diabetes live full, active lives. There are many professional athletes with diabetes. Nick Jonas from the Jonas Brothers has diabetes. But you really need to take it seriously because it does take monitoring and treatment and self-management. Okay, another myth. Diabetes is not a serious illness. So much false. Diabetes is a serious and potentially fatal disease that can lead to complications like heart attacks, kidney failure, blindness, and in some cases, diabetic ketoacidosis, which can kill you. More on DKA shortly. But let's just say it's no frickin' joke. A friend of mine sadly lost someone to DKA earlier this year. Now, lastly, so many people believe, I did too, that you can only get type 1 diabetes in childhood, or you were born this way, as Lady Gaga would say. Now, type 1 diabetes isn't just for kids, believe it or not. This actually was stunning to me. Almost half of new cases happen in adults.
Oh, so calling it juvenile diabetes, I think it was kind of the old name for it, was
I
replaced
guess
with
that's
type
true,
1
yeah.
for a good reason.
So sometimes it also develops slowly and it gets mistaken for type 2. There's a lot of new research and awareness around this. It's called LADA, latent autoimmune diabetes in adults, and it's the same autoimmune process, but just with a slower onset. So if you're an adult diagnosed with diabetes and something doesn't feel right, here's me putting up my hand right now. Ask your doctor about specific testing for type 1 or LADA, which are autoimmune diseases where the body's immune system attacks and destroys the insulin-producing cells in the pancreas. Okay, now that we've busted some myths, let's talk about something a little more serious. DKA, or diabetic ketoacidosis. This is what nearly killed me. Insert dramatic music here, producer Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Diabetic ketoacidosis is basically what happens when your body goes into full-on emergency mode because it doesn't have enough insulin. Insulin is the hormone that lets sugar from your food move from your blood into your cells, where it's used for energy. So without enough insulin, your body can't use that sugar, so it starts freaking out and it looks for another fuel source. Now, since your cells can't get to the sugar, your body starts breaking down fat for energy instead. Sounds okay in theory, except that when the fat breaks down, it releases acids called ketones. And a little bit, no big deal, but when your insulin levels are really low, ketones start to build up like crazy, and that's when things go sideways. Your blood actually becomes acidic.
Oh.
Yeah. So you start getting super thirsty. You have to pee constantly. You may feel nauseated, confused. Your poor body is trying to flush out all those damn ketones and sugar through urine, but the more you pee, the more you're dehydrated, and then it just spirals. Breathing gets super labored, or you start breathing really fast because your body's trying to expel excess acid in the form of carbon dioxide through your lungs to help restore normal blood pH levels. This actually has a name. It's called Kussmaul breathing, named after Adolf Kussmaul, who figured this out. Now you're in full crisis mode. By the way, DKA is always an emergency. You need to get to a hospital stat to get everything back in balance: insulin drips, fluids, electrolytes, and antibiotics if an infection triggered it. More on that in a moment. Now, I can unfortunately speak from firsthand experience. As I mentioned off the top, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in 2023. And I used to say to Pat, you'd never know I had diabetes, because I honestly didn't feel any different. I roll pretty healthy. I have a fairly nutritious, balanced diet. I eliminated most sugar from my diet. I do a heavy bag boxing class 3 times a week. I didn't seem like much of a candidate for diabetes, at least in my head. My GP asked me to get A1C blood tests every 3 months because my regular blood test hinted I might be pre-diabetic. Instead of showing just one day's blood sugar level to explain A1C, A1C tests give you an average of your blood sugar over the past few months. So it tells you the bigger picture. So it doesn't matter if you fasted that morning or if you ate breakfast. It's a picture of the 3 months of what your blood sugar was. So the A1C test actually confirmed I was a type 2 diabetic candidate. So my doctor prescribed a medication called Invocamet. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't actually care, which is a combo of canagliflozin and metformin hydrochloride. It's basically designed to help your body get rid of extra sugar in the kidneys and liver and improves how it handles insulin. Okay, fast forward to May of this year when I got quite sick. I didn't know it at the time, but walking pneumonia was going around. So when I went to the doctor, she checked my lungs. She said they seemed fine. No antibiotics needed. Sent me off with a prescription for some crazy opioid cough syrup. That stuff, I only took it once. It was nuts. What we didn't realize was that the pneumonia was sitting on the outside of my lungs, so it wouldn't have been obvious without a chest x-ray. And then over the next couple of days, I got worse and worse. And by Friday, I was throwing up like it was my job.
Whoa.
I thought it was the cough syrup at first because it's an opioid. I thought, oh, maybe it didn't agree with me. But it was nuts. My thirst was out of control. I was chugging liquids like my life depended on it, which weirdly enough at the time it did. But then I was peeing nonstop, so totally dehydrated. And Pat really wanted to take me to the hospital, but I was delirious. Another symptom of what's happening. And I kept telling him, how am I supposed to get into a car right now? I can get into a car. And then looking back, it sounds ridiculous, but at the time I wasn't thinking straight, right?
Wow.
That's so scary.
It is scary. I thought, maybe a bath would help me feel better.
A bath.
A bath.
Okay.
Which is the dumbest thing ever because I could have so easily drowned because once I drained the water and I tried to climb out, this was like 5 a.m. on the Saturday, I collapsed in the bathroom. I basically had fallen into a diabetic coma.
Oh,
Now, thank Jupiter that when I fell, I knocked over a glass which broke, and it woke up Pat, who was sleeping on the couch on the main floor. And he called 911. Within a few minutes, firefighters and paramedics arrived. Like, Pat literally saved my life.
wow.
I love you, honey. He's being traumatized right now.
No, that's horrific.
Because he has to
Yeah.
relive this. So I became fully conscious on Sundays, surrounded by my people. And our son, he took my hand and he joked, "Happy Mother's Day," which was definitely, honestly, a laugh that we all needed.
Wow.
Okay, so side note, this is going to sound nuts to some people, but my neighbor has a Ring video. So I asked her, can I watch the footage of the paramedics taking me out? Because I remember nothing.
Wow.
It was like, do you guys know the movie Memento by Christopher Nolan?
Yes.
Of course.
For those who don't know, it's about a guy with amnesia. He can't form new memories, so he leaves notes, tattoos, and Polaroids to piece his life together. Anyways, that's what I felt like because I didn't remember anything.
Well, I would
So-
watch that video also if the same thing happened.
I was surprised to see that I was actually propped up in the stretcher in a sitting position and not completely passed out. My eyes were kind of open and I was breathing really rapidly. It was really crazy to watch. On top of everything, guys, my body temperature had dropped to around 34.7 degrees Celsius or 94.5 degrees Fahrenheit,
Wow.
which is
Yikes.
hypothermia territory.
Yeah, definitely.
I actually didn't know that until I saw my hospital results, and I tell you that sent shivers up my spine. No
So
pun,
did
no
you-
pun intended.
I was about to say the shivers. Yeah.
So did you feel warm if your body temperature was low?
I didn't feel anything. I was
You-
out.
Okay.
Yeah. But Pat, you mentioned that track because when I got to emerge, they threw several blankets on me.
Yeah.
I watched the nurse put like 8 or 10 blankets
Yeah.
on you. It was
Wow.
insane.
So I spent
Okay.
5 days in the hospital. It was a 5-day stay. I had an awesome nurse named Jay. I got to give him a shout out. I actually dropped off a card for him a little while ago and thanked him because he was the best. He was so funny. I have a couple wild photos of my hands and wrists. I had multiple IVs hooked up, pumping in a cocktail of things. Antibiotics for the pneumonia. Keep in mind, I still had pneumonia. I was coughing my ass off on top of everything else. Fluids, electrolytes, potassium, magnesium, of course, insulin. My potassium was so low that they made me drink liquid potassium, which felt like I was drinking fire. It was so awful. So when I reviewed my hospital records post-day, it's insane to me how much stuff they pumped into me in those IVs. When I was admitted, my blood sugar was a scary 32 mol per liter, which is millimoles per liter. For context, a healthy range is 5 to 8. Now, for our US friends, where blood glucose levels are typically measured in milligrams per deciliter, a healthy range is 90 to 144, and I was at 576.
Yikes.
So they use a weird measurement, but they use the metric system for that.
I know, it's weird, Because Australia and in Europe, they use the same thing as Canada. But anyways, yeah, that's a funny observation, Adam.
I thought the U.S. would have used like ounces by football field.
Yeah. Or ballrooms, ounces by ballrooms. Okay, so when the endocrinologist, who became my endocrinologist, came to see me in the hospital, she told me that the meds my doctor prescribed, PSA here, Invocamet, had likely played a part in what happened because of the canagliflozin, which is an SGLT2 inhibitor, aka sodium glucose cotransporter 2, and it helps lower blood sugar by making your kidneys flush out extra glucose, which also means you lose a lot of fluid.
Eee.
So
that was the cough suppressant that
No,
caused that?
that
Or that
was-
was the opioids?
when I became pre-diabetic, my GP, that's what she prescribed me, which the endo wasn't super
Okay.
happy about.
Okay.
So throw pneumonia, dehydration, and constant vomiting into the mix, and it was the perfect storm triggering diabetic ketoacidosis. She took me off those meds, by the way. She switched me to metformin. I had to go on insulin post-hospital stay, and I started wearing a CGM, which stands for continuous glucose monitor. It's a tiny sensor that sits under the skin and sends real-time blood sugar readings straight to an app on your phone. It is pretty well technology. It's just this little round thing, and you just go, there's this thing with a spring, and you go ka-chunk. It's got this little needle, and it just sits, it just sticks to your arm, and every 10 days I have to change it.
You know, if you end up dropping the brand name, we're going to sound like so many other podcasts.
Yeah, I'm not going to drop no brand name.
So how's it powered? It has a battery?
Yes, that's why you have to change it.
You actually feed it some sugar.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Totally.
Runs on sugar.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, we're not there yet. Oh,
It's wild. You
interesting.
can literally watch your levels rise or drop throughout the day, and the data is shared.
So you have an app on your phone or something?
Yeah,
That just tells
and
you.
the data is shared with my medical team. So, my nurse can go, oh, wow, what was going on here is really high. It's pretty wild.
Well,
You get a text, someone's having dessert. Like, oh, man.
Actually, Pat has the app. So, as
That's
like a
good.
little aside story, I was out with his sister and a couple of friends when she was in town, and he texted me and also texted her. He's like, "Is my wife okay? Because her blood sugar is really high right now." So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, a guy I work with, his son's diabetic, and he's got the app on his phone too, and he's like, he's calling his son like, "Hey, what's going on? You're crashing. Like, you need to have something to eat." Like, and he, maybe he doesn't feel it, or he's just not checking his phone or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's pretty serious. I guess for children, teenagers, they may just not be as
of course,
as aware, right?
yeah, or to just they don't take things seriously most of the time. Now,
So you need someone like one of the Jonas Brothers to tell you what
yes,
to do.
Nick Jonas for the win. Now, things seemed to stabilize after 3 months, so my doctor was okay with me stopping insulin. Sorry, when I say doctor, I'm talking about the endocrinologist. But after another 3 months, my A1C's levels shot up again, which meant my pancreas was not producing enough insulin. So as of last week, I'm back on daily insulin shots, and thankfully my glucose is in a healthy range. This has been incredibly frustrating and very depressing because I try to eat so well and I work out, I do all the right things, and I can't, my nurse said, oh, God forbid that you eat a couple of pieces of bread, so it was almost, I don't know, it's actually, it's interesting. Like, I'm not sour about being back on insulin. Let's put it that way, because then I can actually enjoy a meal without freaking out about it. So anyways.
It's kind of like what you say, like people are so convinced of this kind of myth that you can 100% control it with lifestyle that it sounds like it creates a frustration when the reality does not live up to that situation.
It's consuming. Yeah, for sure. I mean, some people might be able to. I guess it depends on what's going on with them.
Yeah.
But we will know in a moment what's going on with me, because I had actually wrapped up this segment and then I got some breaking news yesterday. My amazing diabetic nurse, shout out to Lauren, had suspected that I might actually be type 1 or LADA. She noticed after looking at my CGM data from the past few months, especially since I'd gone off insulin and I'm eating well, avoiding sugar, extra carbs, working out. So she's like, this is weird. Something's up. So they ordered a C-peptide and an antibody test. And I just got the results back, and I still need to go over them with my endocrinologist and Lauren, but it looks like she was right, or they were right.
Oh,
that I am actually, I have an autoimmune disorder.
So it has a different treatment. Is that
you have to? I can't. Things like Ozempic and stuff might be fine with other people with type 2, but I need insulin. My pancreas, like Ozempic is not insulin. So my pancreas is not creating enough insulin. That's the issue. So if you've been diagnosed with type 2, but something doesn't quite feel right and your blood sugars are still really high and you think you're doing all the right things, please advocate for yourself and ask your doctor about those tests, because I just did those tests. I didn't hear about them before. But I guess that's the good thing about seeing a specialist, right? So I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV, but I do know if you have diabetes and you get sick, things can go downhill so fast. When you're sick, your body releases extra glucose to fight infection. People without diabetes, like you fellas, just make more insulin to handle it. But anyone else, like myself, we can't. You might also need to adjust your meds and check your ketones with a quick pee test. It's kind of like testing a pool or a hot tub. Literally, it's those little test strips. Please talk to your doctor so you have an understanding of what to do if you get sick. Now, this experience was a huge wake-up call, and I hope for any of you who have diabetes, you don't ever go through what I did. It was especially traumatizing for Pat and for our kid and for our daughter-in-law. I didn't remember anything, so I was fine until, I had to live through the rest of it. But I also hope I cleared up any misconceptions about the disease. Now, if you have any of your own experiences you want to share or questions, please email us at info@trcpodcast.com or leave a comment at trcpodcast.com.
Great website.
Great.
Thank you,
website.
Christina. Yeah, that sounds really, really scary and harrowing. Obviously, we're happy you came through it.
See, Pat's been silent this whole time.
Yeah. Well, as you said, you didn't, consciously fully experience all the trauma like Pat and you said your relatives did. It also highlights that in a world that we have, which is pretty good healthcare, it's still sometimes very difficult to understand exactly what's going on and to treat the issue appropriately, lest you inadvertently cause other issues. And then you, as you just said, you think it's resolved. Oh, we made a mistake before, but now it's okay. Well, maybe not. And some things are just harder to understand.
Yeah, for sure. And people just need to understand if they do get diagnosed with type 2, that it can be ever evolving. So take it seriously and talk to your doctor, and you'll be okay. You'll live a nice long life if you're monitoring it and treating it properly.
Obviously, we're super happy you're still alive, Christina, but it doesn't mean we're going to let you win at Pat's wonderful game of Name That, Spot the Fake.
That's right.
All right, here we go with everyone's favorite mostly guessing game, Name That. Today we play another edition of the pain in the butt to research, but always fun to play, Spot the Fake. We have 5 questions, no tiebreaker. If we're tied at the end of 5 questions, we'll end that way. For each question, I will give you 4 so-called facts. 3 are true, 1 is not. I'll ask you to spot the fake. The twist with this particular game is that all the fake facts were created by ChatGPT. I've randomly determined our starting order and we'll rotate. Question number 1. Darren, you're up first. Spot the fake. Is it A, nutmeg is a hallucinogen? Or B, the longest recorded flight of a chicken is held by a hen named Cluck Norris, who flew 13 miles nonstop in rural Tennessee? Or is it C, it's illegal to keep just one guinea pig by itself as a pet in Switzerland? Or D, Japan has over 200 flavors of Kit Kats, including flavors like soy sauce, green beans, and red potato.
Oh boy. I know 2 of these.
Once again, Pat is the master of this game. I will choose A, nutmeg, as the fake.
Next is Christina.
Please tell me again what B was.
The longest recorded flight of a chicken is held by a hen named Cluck Norris, who flew 13 miles nonstop in rural Tennessee.
I just wanted to hear you say that again. No, I forgot, but I really hope that that's true. I'm going to go with A as well.
Lastly, Adam.
I feel like I heard that in a movie. Maybe Harold and Kumar. Obviously, there's a lot of drugs in it. Idle Hands, they smoke nutmeg, I think. And it didn't do anything. But it's a movie, so it doesn't matter. I think the guinea pig one, C, is false. I think the second one sounds fake, but I don't think ChatGPT is good enough to make that up.
All right. Keeping just one guinea pig alone in Switzerland is illegal.
I knew it.
It's considered animal abuse because they're very social and they get lonely.
Wow.
Nutmeg contains a natural compound that has a mind-altering effect if ingested in large doses.
Damn.
In fact, Japan has introduced more than 400 limited edition and regional flavors of Kit Kats.
Yeah.
The chicken flight is made up.
Oh, you.
Wow.
Well,
Expletive,
so you're wrong about your ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, yeah.
So the thing about the chicken thing, right, is there's 3 different facts in there.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe one of those.
Man.
Also, this is my quibble. I'll start the quibbles early. You know, if you have enough water, it's also a hallucinogen. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Good point.
Question number 2. Christina, spot the fake. Is it A, there's an ant species once thought to be unique to New York City called Manhattan ants?
Oh, I love
Or B, the blob of toothpaste on a toothbrush depicted in commercials and advertising material is called a nurdle. Or C, the famous painting The Starry Night by Van Gogh was originally titled The Electric Train and depicted a futuristic locomotive speeding through a swirling night sky.
Oh, no.
Or D, the office chair is believed to have been invented by Charles Darwin.
I'm going to go with C. Ugh.
All right, Christina goes with
A Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. And next is Adam.
I will go with C. I mean, I love the idea of like it's like the Galaxy Express going through the sky. It seems a bit science fiction-y for someone who is perhaps fantastical, but not in a science fiction.
All right. Adam agrees with Christina. And lastly, Darren.
Mostly guessing game indeed. I mean, I have not studied art history, and yet, like, I feel like I would have heard this. Van
Exactly.
Gogh is one of the more famous ones. Like, by the way, everyone, there's this train thing. And it's not to say, again, I could be wrong too.
I mean, we know about the air. You'd think you would have heard about
Yeah.
the train.
Yeah. And the office chair, I'm like, it makes me think of The Simpsons when Homer invents the leaning back chair. Was it Edison? You know what? Well, I'll join my fellow brethren here, and I'll also say C.
It's a 3-way.
All right. Everyone says C. There is an ant species once thought to be unique to New York called the Manhattan ants.
Amazing.
Amazing.
The blob of toothpaste on a toothbrush depicted in commercials and advertising material is called a nurdle. The famous painting by Van Gogh is the made-up. The office chair is actually believed to be invented by Charles Darwin, who put wheels on his chair to go to his various tables.
That's wild. Well, high fives, you guys. Virtual high fives.
Since AI made up that fact, I would like to see what AI could do rendering that.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess they could get some video too.
Yeah.
So first evolution, then barnacles, then the chair. What a gentleman. What a gentleman.
Question number 3. Adam, spot the fake. Is it A, NASA spacesuits included a thin layer of crushed walnut shells in the outer fabric to protect against micrometeorite impacts?
What?
Or B,
Whoa.
orcas are a natural predator of the moose? Or C,
They do go in water.
The sea moose.
a team in Germany is working on making diamonds out of peanut butter? Or D, Fiat once sold a car which has an espresso machine in it?
Come on.
Oh no, that's got to be true. I don't know much about orcas because they're not in any of the Sharknado films, but I believe that a moose, although they do go in water somewhat, they would only go in fresh water, and I believe an orca is a saltwater animal, therefore they would not cross paths. So I believe that one
Well,
is the fake.
not to add to your rationale, but like there's also like saltwater ponds, but that's not the issue. It's probably also the
No,
size of
I
the
don't-
body of water.
Yes.
Some inner orca. Okay.
All right.
I mean,
Anyway,
it
that's
is
my-
a
that's
guessing game, but
my guess.
it's kind of fun to kind of try to figure it out a little bit, right?
All right, so Adam goes with the orcas.
Mm-hmm.
Next is Darren.
Yes. Can you give me so orcas was B, correct?
Correct.
And D, I agree with Adam. So what is A and C again, please?
NASA spacesuits and walnut shells is A, and C is a team in Germany's working on diamonds out of peanut butter.
So the wording on B was natural predator? What was it, language?
Yes.
I mean, okay, I'm going to say that's fake. It does not make sense to me. That's not how words are used in this household.
Lastly, Cristina.
It's got to be come on, diamonds, peanut butter? Come on. Really? That sounds ridiculous, which means it can be true. What is A again, please?
NASA spacesuits, thin layer of crushed walnuts, micrometeorite impacts.
Guys, we've never heard that either.
That's the problem with this game. They're all like, well...
Yep.
Oh, no. I'm going to go with C, peanut butter.
So, a team in Germany is indeed working on a process to make diamonds out of peanut butter.
Damn it.
Wow.
Orcas will hunt moose when they are swimming between islands or foraging for underwater vegetation. In 2012, Fiat announced its 500L model, which would be the first standard production car to offer a true espresso machine.
Well,
Walnut shells and spacesuits is made up.
God damn.
Y'all got
Adam, you called the Fiat one, of course.
Well, I mean,
That's true.
yeah, that seemed... We all just like stereotypically, of course. Now, this means we're all tied at 1 out of 3, is that right, Pat?
Yes.
Ooh,
Oh.
Question number 4.
Hunger Games.
Darren, spot the fake. Is it A, it's illegal to run out of gas on the Autobahn? Or B, the first color photograph ever taken used dyed spider silk as a light filter?
I'm sorry, Pat, the first what photo?
The first color photograph
Color, okay.
ever taken used dyed spider silk as a light filter.
Wow.
Or C, the shortest verse in the Bible is John 11:35, which simply reads, Jesus wept. Or D, the Statue of Liberty was a working lighthouse for 16 years.
What?
Where did you get this from? How? I don't know.
I mean, it's the plausibility
Yeah.
of all these different things.
It's genius, really. It's so fun.
D, low confidence.
Darren says the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, I was going to say that too.
Next is
Me
next.
too.
Next is Cristina.
What was B again?
The first color photograph ever taken used dyed spider silk as a light filter.
I mean, I've never heard that either. I'm going to go with D.
All right, Cristina agrees with Darren. Next is Adam.
Can I get A and C again?
Sure. A, it's illegal to run out of gas on the Autobahn. And C, the shortest verse in the Bible is John 11:35, which simply reads, Jesus wept.
They all sound plausible. I'm going to go with C, which I feel to be the least plausible, and my guess is John wept is not a full verse.
No, Jesus wept.
Sorry. Jesus
That's okay.
Jeff.
John 11:35 reads simply, Jesus wept. Because of the high speeds on the Autobahn, it's illegal to stop unnecessarily, and that includes running out of gas. From 1886 to 1902, the Statue of Liberty was indeed a working lighthouse. The color photograph is made up.
Oh, man.
Dang it.
So the Statue of Liberty,
I've never
Was it
heard
on-
this.
was it only a lighthouse to protect that island from being hit? Because it's in the middle of nowhere. It's not connected.
I mean,
to,
a lot of people said that it didn't work very well, but it was literally before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the French.
The thing is, the lighthouse thing did seem correct, but the other ones did too.
It was
That's
a
the problem.
French joke.
All right. Well, so going to the last question, you each have one, and you all got the right.
Boy.
You all got the same question right, and everything else wrong. Question number 5, Cristina, spot the fake.
Yep.
Is it A, The bird, which was Twitter's logo, had a name. Larry. Larry the Bird.
Okay.
He was named after NBA legend Larry Bird.
Oh, that's fun.
Or B, in 1939, Adolf Hitler was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize by a Swedish legislator.
Uh-huh.
Or C, in the early days of film, projectionists were required by law to wear gloves because nitrate film was so flammable it could ignite from sweat.
Huh.
Or D, Volkswagen sells more sausages than they do cars.
What was A again?
So I'll repeat again because that's a lot. A, Larry the Bird was Twitter's logo.
Oh,
B,
no.
Adolf Hitler was nominated for Nobel Peace Prize in 1939.
I believe that to be true.
C, in the early days of film, projectionists had to wear gloves because it would catch on fire.
I
Or
believe
D,
that to be true.
Volkswagen sells more sausages than they do cars.
I can believe that. Man, I don't remember what Twitter bird. I thought it had a name, but was it Larry Bird? I mean, that would be super cool. I'm going to go with A, whatever.
Dina goes with A, Larry Bird. Next is Adam.
I'm going to go with D. I don't think they sell sausages at all. If they sold any sausages, it would be way easier to sell more sausages than cars, because sausages cost like $2 and cars cost, I don't know what a Volkswagen costs, much more
Than $2?
So I'm going to go with that. I think just ChatGPT made it up. It's got that ChatGPT vibe to it.
All right. Adam goes with Volkswagen selling sausages. And lastly, Darren.
Who do I want to tie with? Or lose? Because I'm not picking B or C. So we're all at least going to go down together in the A or D category. Larry Bird sounds stupid. And the sausages I don't like. So I'm conflicted.
D sounds ridiculous. Which means
Right.
it could be true.
Right, that's my point. Right, so more fake.
Yeah.
Now, if it was Elon, no way it would be Larry Bird. Larry the Bird. No, but I don't know what either Jack Dorsey or whoever really started that thought. It's so dumb.
Some graphic
Again,
designer.
Pat, good job. Right, they're all.
It's delightful.
Yes, it is delightful. Oh boy. I'll pick D.
All right. Y'all did terrible. This was just awful. So a Swedish legislator did nominate Hitler for a Peace Prize
I knew that one.
as a joke.
As a joke.
That no one found amusing. It was quickly withdrawn. That said,
I wonder why.
That said, Stalin's nominations in 45 and 48 were made in all seriousness.
Wow.
The name of the Twitter logo was indeed Larry Bird.
Wow.
Volkswagen makes sausages called currywurst, which are sold all across Europe. In 2024, for example, they sold 8.5 million sausages compared to 5 million cars.
There's some Europeans that are listening to us like,
How did you not know this?
sausages?
They're like, was ist los?
So the projectionist wearing gloves is absolutely made up. Y'all tied at 1, and
But-
y'all should be
Tiebreaker?
ashamed of yourselves.
But I have heard of film stock going up in flames.
Yes, yeah.
But I guess it has nothing to do with sweat.
I knew
Correct.
that one and,
And
the Hitler
nothing
one
to do
were
with
true.
wearing gloves.
No
Tragic.
tiebreaker, eh? So we are all the champions.
Yeah.
We're all the losers.
Way to go.
I guess we all get a medal here.
Equally poorly.
Y'all got 1 out of 5. Way to
Damn
go.
it.
Do we all get a bronze? How does this work?
We all did worse than Chance. I think that's like worth pointing out.
Well, wait. Chance would be 1 point. A fraction.
tied.
I
Yeah.
think the winner would be Pat, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
in a way,
The winner's
because
ChatGPT.
because we had so much fun, we're all winners.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course.
super fun, Pat. As
Cheers.
usual. We have to do
Yes.
this more often.
Well, thank you, Pat. And thank you, listeners, for joining us once again. Christina gave us some diabetes myth busting and then a harrowing tale of her own life experiences to illuminate just how important it is to monitor your health signals and to have a good social support network. And you just heard us all be humbled by Pat, so I don't need to repeat it. Until next time, think better to act better.
Peace out, cuboids.
Stay classy, not smart-assy.
We'll talk soon, everyone.
For show notes or to discuss this episode, visit our Facebook page and website at trcpodcast.com. For general inquiries or to send a topic or parody suggestion, email info@trcpodcast.com. Help support the show by leaving a review on iTunes and liking us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at @TRC_podcast.